This is Aragon Robotics Team 4345 with our Fair Play Robot explanation.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm the lead programmer for Aragon Robotics. So let's start with the software side first. The sides are basic driver control mechanics. For our autonomous, we use a motion profiling library called Roadrunner, and this allows us to make complex paths and maneuvers. Mainly, it allows us to control our maximum velocity and acceleration at any given time during our trajectory. And in order to track exactly where our robot is, we use dead wheel odometry. And so you see, these are dead wheels. There's no power to them. And we have odometers connected to encoders that allow us to track how far this wheel has traveled, and that allows us to find out how far the robot has traveled in turn.
Hello, I'm Max and I'm a programmer for Team 4345. And for the vision side of our autonomous phase, we use a webcam that can detect the rings over there in the beginning. And with a TensorFlow machine learning model, we are able to recognize whether there are 0, 1, or 4 rings and subsequently move to the correct grid path during the autonomous phase.
All right, let's show auto.
Okay. Give it a couple seconds to emit. Okay, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, let's begin with our drivetrain. So we have 4 Neverest Orbital 20 motors powering our drivetrain. We have Nexus Wobble Mechanism wheels with rev belts in the middle of their Tetrix C channels. And we have a lot of 3D printed stuff around it to keep everything in. Instead of using the entirely Tetrix build system, we have bearings for our wheels, and we just bought those off Amazon. For our intake, we have all of the Andy Mark compliant wheels, all in green, and we have a 3D printed mount for it with all of it on bearings. We have a rev orbital motor, which allows us to just change the gear ratio of our intake really easily, and we just have some polycarb on the bottom for our ramp. For our wobble mechanism, we have a servo and just a 3D printed claw, which is powered by a 60. And this allows us to just pick up the wobble in both auto and teleop for well end game. And for our transfer, we just have a couple of servos, rev servos, which are both continuous, and with position, which allows us to go down to collect our rings, and then back up to shoot. And that brings us to our shooter. We just have an ultraplanetary with a 1-to-1, so no gearbox, which allows us to spin our shooter wheel. We found that the orange one is the best, and we just have the rest of our electronics all around. So we have a control hub as well as an expansion hub and all the related electronics to connect everything else.
Our shooter. And this is our intake. Wobble arm.